offer the best grooming products for you, Yes, so natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be a swagger, style, class, and luxury. We got products that are made for you with high quality, yeah. So get in style with the black, yeah. Company, to give you swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah. Black, gentleman, black, yeah. Company, give you swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com.
Yo. What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to the post-fight show with Stormybman for this Saturday, October 12th, 2024. Man, we are having the post-fight show for Beterbiev versus Bivol, the Undisputed Light Heavyweight Championship. Just took place, just finished up, and a very interesting card altogether. Overall, the fight itself, either it lived up to expectations or were beneath expectations. And for me, a little disappointing because I thought that Arthur was going to rip the life out of Dimitri. And it didn't happen. But it was highly competitive, a complete contrast of styles. When you look at fighters who are boxer punchers, you look at fighters who are sluggers, you look at fighters who are technicians and tacticians. This fight fell somewhere in between for both men. We saw Dmitry Bivol compete possibly harder than we've ever seen him compete before. We saw Artur Beterbiev not really press the gas as he's been known to do before, which is really interesting. And I have my thoughts about that, which may surprise some of you. But all in all, a very competitive fight. But the lightning was stolen by the co-main event, which we will talk about after we get through talking about the main event. Because it was the main event that brought everything together. These men were supposed to face one another back in June. And due to an injury sustained by Beterbiev in training, I think he had a torn meniscus or an injured meniscus of some kind, of the left knee, which brought him into a place where he had to have recovery and then come back to resume training. Now, he went into this, everybody said he was okay, so he was out there, and we take that he was okay. Dimitri really trained hard. You could see in his performance that he was guarded against the power of Beterbiev. He was very protective of his own welfare and found spurts of where to get off his offense and continue to use lateral movement throughout the bout, which may not have been a part of his original game plan back in June. But knowing that Arthur had a questionable knee, it was very smart to do what he did as far as the movement that he had on display. So this is something that we have ended up with, a majority decision for Arthur, where a couple of judges had him ahead. I think it was 115 to 113 and 116 to 114, something like that. And then one judge had it a draw at 114 apiece. All in all, a very good fight, but something was going on there that I saw that I was like, And I didn't really come to that realization until it got to about round 8. And I'll let you know what my thoughts are on that in a moment. We're going to roll to the chat to see who we got in the building. We're doing a simulcast here on the Patreon as well as YouTube. So you can have at it with your comments. And if YouTube doesn't like it, we could shut down YouTube and go right on over to Patreon. Yeah, it's open for Patreon. You don't have to be a member. You could just be a public person over there and get this broadcast. Yeah, but there will be exclusives for my subscribers of Patreon and members. So just know, and I will alert you guys for that. Also, there is, before I start shouting out my chat, there is now a new link for Stormybman merchandise, which you guys will be able to happily enjoy. The new merchandise link is in the description box of every broadcast, and we're putting up here on the screen here the brother A Weapons, his webpage. You could go over there to his myshopify.com and put in the search engine Stormy, and you can enjoy the new merchandise that Stormybman has. And I'm gonna tell you something, it's a smoker of a deal when you see what is happening with the merchandise on this new site here. And we still have the regular, Stormy merchandise that's on Streamlabs. So you have your choice of how you want to support now. And I'm guaranteeing you, there is something in the bag for everybody. Yeah! So don't forget to show that support, Reach deep down into those pocket books, them lime green purses that some of you men accessorize with your outfits of capri pants, pumps, and nail polish, Make sure that you support the Stormybman brand. Yeah! As I said, something in the bag for everybody. Yeah. So, with that being said, we're going to head right on over to the chat and see who we got in the building. It's a few of y'all out there. Let me see. Smash the like button if you haven't already. We got a lot of peeping toms out there, But that's okay. We don't have to worry about them. Just let them know that when we turn the sprinkler system on, they'll be gone. Yeah! Yeah, we got JDM checking in early. Mr. Shelton is out there. Shaquila Fields is in the building saying good fight night. King Styles Productions is with us. Steph Brown says yeah. Learn is back with us. Shower Liars out there saying shalom Stormy in chat. Steph Brown is here saying wow, what a fight. A war of attrition. A lot of cat and mouse playing possum from both. Broadcast was the worst part of the course, so silence it was, but I enjoyed the fights. Storm Trackers, great stuff. Yes, sir. Steph Brown, yes, sir. And we got Michael Ray II in the building saying salute Stormy. I had it 75 Beterbiev. Yeah. Shout out says 6-6 for me. JDM says I had Bivol too, Mr. Shelton, but it was what I expected. A really close fight. Antonio MMA is in the building. He says that old age showed up, man. William Old School is in the building. What's happening with you, William? And who else? Adrian Viet is back with us. A couple of you guys are talking back and forth. Let's see, T-Berry, what's happening with you? I see you out there, bro. Peace to you as well. William says, well, Stormy, I am now considered a senior citizen. I'm 60 years old today. Hey, man, happy AARP to you, brother, AARP to William Old School, A lot of people can say that they can't say because they're no longer here. You can't hear them say nothing. But a lot of people didn't make it to that number there, William. So blessings upon you, your loved ones and family and friends. And may you be able to celebrate that as much as you like and to your heart's content. Yeah. Shower says, put some pressure on that like button. Just like y'all put that pressure on biting into them sandwiches, them hoagies and subs and everything, pig feets and the chitlins. Make sure you do your job with that like button. That's right, Shower. Tell them. The Audacity Podcast. Let's see. Rashad Livingston, excuse me. We got, who else we got? Hen Dog is out there. What's happening with you, Hen Dog? Eric Jordan, where you been? Is back, after being missing, So we don't have to check your attendance there, Eric Jordan, We might have to bring you into truancy. Yeah. Drew Titan, my brother's out there saying salute. And who else we got here? Also followed up with Bear Cave and Painful Excellence, showing love and support. And I think I'm caught up with the family, huh? The rest of them is those peeping toms I warned y'all about. Just make sure that you hold on to your wallets and your backpacks and everything. Keep everything zipped up real tight, because they be coming around, huh, trying to stick their fingers, they cruddy little fingers, huh, into crevices to see what they can steal, huh? Yeah, we know all about it. Bo Malone is out there saying salute, Stormy, salute to you. Yeah, so let's talk about this, man. In a fight which I had termed that I thought that Arthur was going to blast Dmitry Bivol into Valhalla, yeah. But he didn't do that, and it was interesting because he had done it to so many others, huh? But I want to remind you guys, because I see the questions are coming in now, and I won't take you long around the block for what I'm going to say. But when I do say it, pay attention. You know, these two men have been champions for the better part of the past 4 to 5 years as champions opposite of one another. And there was no real public sentiment for them to face one another. There was no outcry like, let's see some unification. Maybe amongst the boxing public that really follows the sport and who wants to see one above all. That's my new way of saying undisputed, one above all, huh? In a 4-belt era. As much as we may have called for that, us pundits that are really following the sport on a week in and week out basis, as we are known to do, they haven't rushed to do this. Now, you also take into consideration who also had belts, huh? When you think about who else had belts, things begin to crystallize a little more. A little bit more. Salute to Frederick Hazagbe, who just subscribed to the channel. Welcome to the Stormybman channel. We call them Storm Trackers over here, Frederick. And hopefully you come in here with your thinking cap on, huh? Tape for your mouth, huh? And keep pen and pencil ready, huh? But also know, Frederick, that we wear steel-toe Timbs around these parts too. And we can kick up a hell of a storm when you ain't right, huh? Yeah. So be cautious, be alert, and be seated and enjoy the ride. Yeah. Anyway, do you guys remember that there was a champion that Arthur had fought named Alexander Gavaskik? And he was a fighter that had a WBC title. When Arthur faced him, Arthur had the IBF. But Gavaskik was a fighter who was really a solid fighter from the Ukraine. He's the same age as Arthur, a little bit bigger than Arthur at 6'2". Arthur is like 5'11". But before facing Arthur, Voskik had beat a gentleman by the name of Adonis Stevenson. Adonis Stevenson is a fighter that was a champion that we all wanted to see. This was back when Sergey Kovalev was a titleist and Andre Ward had moved up to the division. I think John Pascal was up there. You know, a number of guys that we were talking about, right? Just a moment here while I address this Cash App for the brother Eric Jordan. He sent a Cash App in. Salute to Eric Jordan, who says, for supporting my sensei. We appreciate that, Eric Jordan. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Just trying to get this notification cleared out here so I can see if any new ones come in. Oh, and by the way, let me open up and remind that PayPal is open as well. If someone wanted to leave a donation to the PayPal, I will announce it as I check with that. Just write in the chat, hey Stormy, check the PayPal, because the alert isn't connected to the my alert system here for that. But thank you again, Eric Jordan, Cash App donation. Listen, Adonis Stevenson was one of those fighters. You had Chad Dawson up there, like I said, Andre Ward. But I'm trying to give you a little bit of remembrance of who had been around the division before Beterbiev and Bivol began to take over as champions. All I want you to know is this. There was a lot more color in the division. Do you understand what I mean when I say that? There was once a lot more color in the division. Right? Are you aware of what Stormy is kicking to you? Put a 1 in the chat if you're aware. And you can even write a brief thought about what you think that may allude to. Yeah. Chilltown Majors, what's good? Cali World is out there. Tay Tay, what's happening? Mangus Allen. Yep. Okay, so once Arthur became a unified champion with his defeat of Vostik, and that was in October of 2019, just about around that time that the world got put in a weird place, right? You all know what I'm talking about when I say that. So, Dmitry Bivol, who became a champion at some point, he picked up a belt and was named WBA champion. Then recently, as December of last year, he picked up that IBO title. But where I'm going with this, you guys, I will stop dragging it out. Arthur is from where? Can someone write in the chat where Arthur is from? Someone write in the chat for me where Arthur Beterbiev is from. Salute to the Jab Jamboree. I see you out there, brother. What's happening with you? Cali World, do your homework, brother. Do your homework. William Old School, do your homework. Arthur Beterbiev is from Russia. Now somebody remind me where Dmitry Bivol is from. Yeah. Now, when you understand that these two men held titles in this light heavyweight division, the belts divided amongst them. Even though we've had issues politically with that part of the world, in sports, it means something far more than you believe. To the degree that they reveled in the fact that these two men held titles, and there was no rush or hurry for them to face one another. Now, if you look at their accomplishments outside of facing one another, it's great propaganda. Now, anybody who has watched Arthur Beterbiev's last 5 opponents saw those people get brutalized. Totally brutalized. But I'm going to let you in on something that I had even not calculated myself. The power of unity. You did not see 2 Russian fighters, champions, go to war with one another tonight. You did not. You did not see 2 Russian fighters go to war. You saw them compete, and they competed close enough for the decision to be, in today's time, controversial. But may I remind you, the man who gained favor with the decision was the one who reflected the most powerful. Are you paying attention to what I'm telling you? So you're not going to get this from anybody else. You're not. And if you do, you know where it's come from because I've said it first. Dmitry Bivol is not more athletic or even powerful than Anthony Yard. You saw what happened to Anthony Yard. These two men fought very competitive. They were not there to go to war with each other. They were not. But even in landing punches around the gloves, banging the gloves, occasionally landing on his noggin, Arthur still had Bivol's eye looking pretty damn bad, didn't he? See, y'all don't know what being unified means, because most of you out here may be from a certain culture background. And when you talk about being on code, you don't know what that is. It is important to reflect strength to the world than it is to reflect talent. Did you hear what I said? See, some people don't understand that, and will never understand it, which is why you'll still be broken as a community. As a community. You don't know what being on code means. You don't know what representation means. You don't know what honoring where you come from means. Hell, I can't even get you to smash my like button, but you out here watching me. Huh? Yeah. You see? You see? Representation. You'll listen to Stormyman's post-fight, but you won't even hit the like button. Because bias, bigotry, prejudice, self-hate, intercultural bias, and racism. But those two men, they were not there to destroy one another. They were not. And there's nothing you can do or say to take down the point that I'm making here, because it was bigger than you could ever imagine. But like I said, I got to about the 7th or 8th round and I began to recognize what was going down. Yeah. Yeah. 93 Octane, salute. DLP, what's happening? Don Shotter 24. Yeah. See, now you can see it, right? Since I put it in your face. Since I brought it up. Can you not see it? Can you see the play between rounds? How certain rounds where Bivol looked like, man, he's looking like he's going to really do something. And then all of a sudden, Arthur would step it up just a little bit to close some gaps. But he never went after him like he did Marcus Brown. Never went after him like he did Joe Smith Jr. Never battered him like he battered Callum Smith or Anthony Yard. Amazing. Bivol didn't look this good. He didn't look this good when he was out there against Lyndon Arthur or even Gilberto Ramirez, Zerto. He looked better than Canelo, but he didn't look this good against Canelo, did he? Do you now see what I'm saying to you? Now, that doesn't mean that like, oh, I knew this all the time. Because remember, I said it didn't come to me until we were getting into the third quarter of the fight. And I'm saying to myself, these guys are not going to war. So now, what do we gain from this observation? God and country. Remember, always remember what country means. Remember that. You know, you've heard the brother Drew Titan in some of his most recent lives where he's talked about certain fighters, and they go out there and you'll hear the announcer say, well, you know, he's got a full country behind him. They would say it with Manny Pacquiao. They'll say it with Canelo. They say it with AJ. So who was behind these guys? They were from the same house. Salute from Ahmad out there in the Cash App. He says, for respect, sir. Respect to you and thank you for the Cash App donation, brother. We appreciate you. Yeah. Salute to Shower out there with the Cash App donation. We appreciate you there for your donation, Shower. And her message attached says, Beterbiev is his brother's keeper. 100. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Shower and chat and supporters. Artman the Great, take a seat. You might have to dial this back about 10 minutes. It's not as simple as that, sir. Somebody help pontificate my point to Artman the Great so he doesn't go off on a tangent, because I'm not coming at him. I'm trying to get him to get where we already are. See, that's what happens when you walk in late, right? And you wonder where all the other pieces of chicken at, huh? Most of the breasts, the legs and thighs have been gathered up already, huh? It might not be nothing but a few wings left, huh? Yeah! Anyway, as I'm saying, when you're under the understanding of who you're serving, who you're repping, then you get it figured out. Remember the Klitschko brothers? They were both world champions at the same time. But what did they tell you? They would never fight each other. And that's kind of understandable because they were brothers, huh? They were brothers. And brothers can support one another and rep the family household and everything as they did. Even avenge one another's losses or setbacks as they did. However, see, you're not supposed to be acute, detailed, focused, sharp, intelligent enough to grab the point of which what I just shared with you guys. You're not supposed to have that. You're not supposed to gain that type of understanding of what you're looking at. And if you are to do so, then you can see the overall sport a lot better than you do presently. You're welcome. Young Hollywood, it's not that simple, brother. It is not. You see, once you guys start dealing beneath the surface with comments, then you can't ascend to the next level of elevation, because the frontal lobe is important, man. But you can't take observation of that if all you know how to do is dig in your pants. You see, when you talk about elevation, first you have to understand that there is a level that's beyond where you presently are. And that's a very tough acknowledgement for a number of people, which is why the crab in a barrel syndrome exists. See, let me show you another aspect of lack of elevation. I've been on now for 46 minutes live. I have 70 likes on this stream. But let me share with you how many views I have. 535 views at the present of me speaking, but the views are steadily going up. 535, but 70 likes. Now remember my remark about elevation. Now, many of you have professed that this was a great fight this evening, right? Many of you have talked about it being awesome. Stephen L. the Mac, what's good with you? Queen 71, what's happening? Keith Taylor. Imagine what type of fight it would have been if what I've revealed to you wasn't part of the equation. Think about that. If you're from Russia, who's the daddy? Somebody write that in the chat for me. If you're from Russia, who's the daddy? Boxing is an international global sport. And the world has conflict going on at the very moment. And even though you could be living in a place like Canada or have real estate in the US, but you're from Russia, who's your daddy? Somebody write that in the chat for me. Don't take so damn long. Thank you, Shower. I was just waiting for somebody to step forward. These men fought in Saudi, right? Saudi is what? What do they call it? Neutral. So, do you think that these men got a call? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. By the way, 573 views at the moment, presently, and still only 77 likes. Where my supporters at? Both of these men had extensive amateur fights. Over 200 plus for each. over 200 plus for each. Salute to Ahmad back in that cash out with another donation. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your support. JDM, if that be true, it doesn't necessarily have to be true. But wouldn't that align with what I'm talking about? Wouldn't that kind of go like hand in glove with what I've said for the past 30 minutes? That was actually a question, JDM, I wanted an answer to. By the way, 602 views presently. But YouTube would tell you that I reuse content. I've said some of the most original stuff that you would ever hear on this broadcast. And guess what? If you hear anything further, guess where you heard it first, people? Smash my like button. But shower, this is the educational part. You don't have to tell the world what your faith, denomination may be. But if you tell the world where you're from, the possibilities are very limited. But from the likes of how I see people tune in to this broadcast and lack of proper support, I can tell that out of 612 views, and only 80 likes, that the most viewing this are from niggerdom. How about that? Yeah. Stormy don't just tell you about the X's and O's. Stormy can tell you about the these and those. Bars. Jeff Spark, what's good with you? No, that's cool. You know, Shower, listen. There's always going to be, but remember, now you have shoulders to stand upon, huh? Now you have someone to wipe your bottom, huh? Because you're way above them. Yeah. Just think of it that way. Just think of it that way.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it? Yes.
That's for fucking with me, you no business born insecure motherfuckers!
I'm 23. Too bad.
Yeah, Shower, I would say it was like 7-5 with some swing rounds in there. But I actually had Beterbiev. And I'll tell you why. Because he pressed the fight. He pressed the fight. Remember, in some of these fights where you've had fighters pressing the fight, judges have given the other guys the decision. He was the guy that had 3 belts. And I saw enough pressure that it was like Dimitri was the one that was uncomfortable throughout the fight. Yes, he did some good things. But I recognized as we got late into the rounds, I'm like, he ain't even trying to stop this guy. Which I've seen him knocking guys out. And I'm like, why isn't he trying to knock Dimitri out? Dimitri is there to be hit. He wasn't digging to the body to bring those hands down. He kept punching through the gloves and around the gloves. I'm like, this is very interesting. He's not trying to knock his fellow countrymen out. So even I found something out today that I had not given much consideration to until it happened today. But it's okay. You know why it's okay? Because it's them. See, now you have something to point toward when you see improprieties out there. When you see something not quite right, remember this fight. Remember what I pointed out to you. It's just amazing that we get put in these positions where it's like certain things are like right in front of your face and you don't always see it. You just don't. You ever take a picture and then you realize that it's something in the background or whatever you didn't mean for that to be there, huh? It could have been some old dirty underwear hanging over the basket, the lid of the basket, the laundry basket. Or somebody could have come behind you and put the bunny rabbit ears behind your head or something like that. And you're like, damn, I got, but it's always something. Yeah. It's always something. Now, let's get to the co-main event, which was over before it started, huh? The rematch between Fabio Wardley, the British Commonwealth champion, WBA Intercontinental champion, and I do believe he had another title as well. Let me look this up real quick so I don't get it incorrect. Right now, they're just acknowledging him as the BBBFC British Heavyweight Champion, but he had that title, the Commonwealth title, and the WBO European title. Fabio Wardley is a fighter whom I've had my eye on a moment because he's a guy that didn't really have an amateur background. And he started out in the pro ranks. He wanted to be a professional fighter. But because he's from over there, Ipswich, Suffolk, the UK, he came into the sport as a guy who is, they call him white collar background. He's 29 years of age. He's 6'5". I think for this fight, he weighed in at 241 pounds. But Wardley is a game fighter. He has something beneath the surface. Yeah, so in their first fight, the first go around, it was considered a great matchup between younger heavyweights that were looking to take that next step to world-class level. They fought back in March of this year and ended with a split decision draw, even though Clark was down in the 5th round and had a point deduction in the 7th round. And he boxed enough to survive and stave off the advances of Fabio Wardley. But it was still a great scrap up between two young British heavyweights. So this fight, which took them from having a possible rematch from happening in the O2 or Wembley, they've decided to take the fight in Saudi. And I am certain that Fabio Wardley is glad that he took the fight in Saudi, because his victory tonight, a scorching 1-round annihilation of Frazier Clark, who outweighed him by almost 30 pounds. Was seen before a greater world audience than had they just had their fight in Wembley or the O2. An amazing fight, amazing battle. Fabio destroyed Frazier Clark in this fight, people. He destroyed him totally. I was talking to one of the brothers behind the scenes, and I said that it reminded me of when Lennox Lewis took out Andrew Golota. A fearsome performance that saw Lennox just look totally amazing. The fight didn't even go long enough for us to be able to figure out what could have been either man's game plan. However, quickly it was observed that Wardley was to go home early so he could watch the main event. I mean, this was, yeah. Yeah, Queen. He was demolished. That kid was really hurt. And Fabio looked as fierce as any heavyweight in the division. Current champion or recently released from championship reigning fighters. Yes. Yeah, but that's what happens, man. See, this is why you don't play boxing. You don't play boxing, man. And Fabio told anyone who would listen, he was ready for this rematch. He had looked at the fight several times, their first fight, and he blew the knockout by rushing things too much. But he realized what his mistakes were, and he promised that if he got him in trouble again, he was not going to rush it, but he was going to end what had happened and take the guy out. And he did exactly that, people. He did exactly that. It was amazing. Amazing. That was one of the most brutal knockouts that I can remember in recent memory. Brutal. This was a great card, though. I was very happy with all of the fights. I will cover the other fights as the upcoming week. You know, I'll get a chance to talk about the other fights. But the co-main and the main were really something. They were really something. Yeah, he was in bad shape, you guys. He was in bad shape. I can only hope that the guy can recover from this and be able to come back another day. Because sometimes something like that, it can be a wrap for you, you know? It can be a wrap. But like I said, and it's been proven now, Anthony Joshua waited around and stalled things out and didn't fight who he should be fighting and everything till these younger guys have caught up, and some have even surpassed the level that he achieved, and they gave him all this acclaim, I should say, for superstar status, but he hadn't superstarred anybody in the sport. But you look at some of these young men, Dubois, Fabio Wardley, man, these guys look fierce, huh? Yeah. And whatever happened to Jared Anderson, huh? Yeah. Now you see, with guys like this, okay. Oh, and did I mention that Ben Davison was in Frazier Clark's corner, y'all? Yeah, Ben Davis, huh? The guru. Yeah. You're welcome. Black Martial Arts Society, what's good with you? I see you out there. But listen, I've been on here long enough to talk about this foolishness. You know, I gotta go and get me something to eat now because I'm hungry, you know? And we'll be back with the call in to talk about this stuff some more, man. But what a fight card in Saudi. Saudi is really doing some stuff, man. Turkey Al-Sheikh is awesome. And by the way, you guys, keeping track of the stats, only 86 likes, only 86, but now over 710 views. How about that? You see what I mean? You see what I'm talking about? I'm not lying to you guys. And since he's out there, we're going to hear from our brother, the Focus Ball, huh?
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a focus ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a focus ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a focus ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a focus ball. When you train with the focus ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the focus ball now.
Yeah, so we've come to the end of another post-fight show, man. I just want to say that this was an entertaining evening of boxing. Even though the enlightenment of what really transpired is quite gripping, unexpected, but admirable all at the same time. So with that being said, you know, we have to keep an ear to the ground for what's going on, but at the same time, just always pay attention to what you're looking at, people. Pay attention and look deeper than what's at the surface, man. Yeah. So we're gonna get on up out of here, because I ain't trying to hold everybody all evening. Release you to some other good things besides me. Yeah. But I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. Don't forget that there is a new merchandise link. I had to do a brief update to it, and that merchandise link will appear on the screen, and you guys can get out there and check that merchandise out, show some support, get you some gear, and yeah, enjoy it, you know, because there's some good stuff out there. Good stuff. I just put the link up on the screen again there for you to check it out. Like I said, the link is also in the description box on the show, and it'll be on the description box on all the content going forward. So you head on over to A Weapons page, and in the search engine you put in Stormy, and then my merchandise comes up. Some great stuff over there. Many different items and selections to choose from. So we're gonna head on out of here, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening and weekend. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. We catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Are you shocked, Mr. Williams?
Only in how sloppy your man works.